All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Two Fat Guys Talking Flowers, where we're always going to give you the good, the bad, very little ugly about flowers. I'm Fern here with Joelle. Ryan, Mimi is back. I've missed her dearly. She's back. Tomorrow's her birthday. Happy early birthday, Mimi. Woo! Mike is up in Jet Fresh North Country, and our one of a kind, as if Edward Scissorhands and Willy Wonka had a flower baby, the floral mad scientist, Flower Pistol.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome. How you doing out there? How's it going?
Honestly, I was trying to have this in my studio, but I scrambled here. I thought I was going to have enough time. I had an install this morning in Beverly Hills starting at like 6 a.m. I'll be good. I'm going to make it. And I literally just like drove like a bat out of hell just to get to my place here in Santa Monica. It's a midway point between my studio and Beverly Hills. So like, yeah, I'm happy to be here. I'm like so stoked on a Friday to like hang out with you guys. And thanks for having me.
Is that a chair you're sitting in? Is that your chair?
Yeah.
I mean, that is like a throne. I feel like I'm watching an episode of Game of Thrones over here. House of Dragons.
Yeah, no, just
House of Floral Pistol.
I love this. This was actually an alley find. I'm not even going to lie. I found this in an alley. I'm not kidding.
That.
I was in a big Sprinter, like a big Mercedes Sprinter on my way to an event doing another, floral thing. And I was kind of late already. And I drove past this chair. And I was like, no, Kristen, no, you cannot stop. And then I was like,
don't do it.
I said, no, fuck it, I don't care. Did a U-turn, picked up, threw it in with the thing. And like, when I got to the venue, they're like, what do we do with this chair? I'm like, just don't worry about it.
I think it's really cool.
So that's how I got to my house.
Cool.
Thank
You can find shit sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can find stuff. People,
right time, right place.
People's unwanted stuff up here, it just goes on the side of the road. And then people come and they take it if they want it.
I'm a big fan of recycling.
Yeah.
I think there's this notion that everything has to be brand new. And there's beauty in something that has a story to it. And when you add to it, you bring it into your home or you work with it, like you add to that story. It's another chapter. And I think it just adds to the character of something.
Definitely.
For real.
That.
See, that's an artistic mindset right there.
Funny you say that because you guys call it a hoarder when I do it.
Well,
I think florists are like, they appear as full hoarders. You're like, don't throw away that dry. I might need it. I might need it in a week. Like I might need it in a year, And you're like, but it's a perfect leaf. Don't get rid of it. When my
sounds like Ryan.
My team comes in.
I'm a
we have like
creative
10 years
hoarder.
of 10 years of trade show shit in a storage unit that cost me $500 a month.
I think the talent is finding it.
We'll need it someday.
Well, we plan to use it again, but
so,
it ends up
hold
just,
on. I gotta tell this story. So Ryan had this giant gumball machine made when we did the candy shop at Flori Expo, and I was like, Ryan, you're never gonna fucking use that again. You're never gonna use that again. Why are you keeping that? And then I feel like just out of nowhere, he used it in his next show. He made it.
Yeah, you challenged that.
I challenged him, so he proved me wrong, and I'm just like, all right.
It was also a pain in the ass to get that big gumball, so we needed to find more ways to use it. We still have it to use.
Like, how big are these gumballs?
So the actual plastic that we had made was like 4 feet of a ball, 4 feet wide, and the balls themselves were probably about like 12 inches, made of preserved roses, like a full preserved rose ball.
Yeah, really cool.
And we probably had about 15 of
cool.
those inside of it, or maybe 12 or so.
We could use that in the new space, Ryan. That'll be cool in there.
What kind of orders did you put in there?
Oh, what kind of quarters?
Chocolate coins.
It's like, that sounds fun. I love the whimsical. So
we actually have a small one in the office, like a normal size gumball machine that is filled with preserved roses, and people try to
quarters. And quarters.
Yeah.
People constantly put quarters
people
in
try
there.
to,
Like,
they think it's
I
like
got
$5
nothing.
in there.
So, Flower Pistol,
Absolutely.
before we get into your story, we did get a couple more responses to our question.
Yeah, so our new thing is that we're going to post a question every week on social media, and that way we get some feedback and get more interaction. So last week's question was, what flower gives you the most emotional response? And then there was a few late entries from...
We had, first one was Renee Tucci, who says that Crispidia. She said straight up happiness.
Okay.
And we also had Nikki P, the press. She also said that marigolds trigger.
Marigolds have such a strong scent, so I can imagine it has to have like something that, yeah.
But this week's question is, what hobby or skill have you always wanted to learn but never had a chance to?
Glass blowing.
Ooh, good one. Did you watch that Netflix thing?
I recently got into welding, and I'm still like a novice. But I just love the idea of like messing with the elements.
That's badass.
That's badass, yeah.
The Netflix show makes me want to do that.
Is like a big inspiration to me. So I saw the Chihuly exhibit in Seattle not too long ago. I feel like a lot of times I'm kind of like a black sheep in the space. Like I'm a florist, but I'm also an artist, and like I don't know what I am all the time. You know, there's like something of like an identity. But when I went to Seattle, and I saw like this little short bio doc type thing on Chihuly, and I saw the way he worked, and I like felt at home. Like it was like the way that he like his body language, the way he like, there's a way that I am when I'm working that's sort of like different. I just like really relate to him and his work, and like I don't feel like such a black sheep through him. So yeah, but like glass blowing would be really rad to work on. Maybe one day.
That's cool.
I don't like birds.
I'm relearning things that I learned in the past because I forgot it. So like I've been wanting, I just haven't had time to get back into 3D modeling, but I've been wanting to get back into that.
Car 3D modeling, or like 3D modeling houses, or anything?
No, anything really, but to do more 3D printing and animation and stuff like that. What I used to do in college, I completely forgot all the programs.
How about you, Mimi?
I actually been looking into like, I do watercolors, so I was trying to recreate stained glass, but using like different things. So something just triggered me to like, somebody that I know likes stained glass, and so I was trying to make something for that person, but it's something that's really, really cool. Like when you start mixing the colors and everything together, and the glass is really, really interesting. So I think that's what I would love to learn about that.
That is like really cool.
Properly learn about it.
That's so cool.
But who responded? Somebody responded, right?
There was 2 responses because we did post this a little late. Somebody posted yo-yo. They wish they learned the yo-yo.
You remember when you had to walk the dog?
I would say walk the dog, or cat in the cradle.
Yeah, classic
like with your friends at the playground, like, and the yo-yo that would like light up. Or Pogs. Do you guys remember Pogs? I digress. But yeah.
Pogs, yeah.
That's
and
great.
Slammers.
And somebody else said floral design was their obvious answer, but
I'm still trying to do that. So I go to the cash and carry and I tell Olga or Pinky, I'm like, hey, can you help me pick out some colors and figure some stuff out? And I've been trying to do that a lot lately. But man, it's not easy.
I will tell you this. I made an arrangement the other day for Barbie. I made it myself. And I didn't show you guys because I was a little shy and I didn't want to be critiqued, but it was fucking badass. Like it was.
We'll put it on the roast page.
It was the best
put it on the roast page
I had ever made. Like I walked away. Like I was like,
yeah, you have to show us.
I do have pictures
because that's exactly how I felt with my piece for my mom that I made for my mom last week with Olga's help. Like she helped me see the vision of it. And I picked lighthouse roses from Jet Fresh Growers because I saw my mom as my lighthouse. So I like to put a meaning behind it. And it was so fun. And I was like, wow. Like, no, I'm serious. Afterwards, I was like, man, this is badass. But I used chicken wire, and then it just started moving everywhere, even though I taped it. So I don't know what I did wrong.
I didn't use any wire or anything. I could have used some wire. The rubber band that I used to keep half of it together broke, but I used my big ass hands to keep it together. I felt like Ryan. I'm telling you, I'm going to find the picture.
I mean,
Ryan does good designs. Ryan is actually good with flowers. Mike, are you good designing with flowers?
Yeah,
you can throw a vase together.
I get by.
Yeah. My mom spends her time and will go through and arrange around. They got vases everywhere in the house, so she'll spend her time and literally like spread it around.
I just saw her garden tour that she gave me, and wow.
What is your guys' like favorite trick that you keep up your sleeve, like processing flowers?
Ooh,
like
I
you're
have
like,
a good
this
question for you.
Works. Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure if you know that Mimi is the fresh tip expert.
Okay.
Formerly of Chrysler.
One,
So
Well, I've told this one already on the podcast, but my favorite one is I use a potato peeler on hydrangeas and I open the bark on the bottom so that it uptakes extra water. So that's
a great idea.
Favorite one. And my other one is I actually don't peel guard petals. That's my favorite thing because if you peel the guard petals, you're going to lose vase life. So that's my other favorite thing. Basically, anything having to do with the stem and removing like thorns. I don't like to like use really sharp stuff on the thorns either because it's like a camelback, even though technically camelbacks don't hold water. But the thorns are where there's a lot of that water and that source of so Joel's looking at me like science nerd. It's funny that you asked because my number one question coming in, and I go, guys, I need to ask because I just saw a video posted, I think on Flower Pistol with the Zorchids. What are you using to mist
Zorchids.
them?
Zorchids.
Oh, that's just pure water.
Pure water. Okay.
I'm like, wait, how do you? I gotta practice my. Is this? Hold on. Is this backwards? Is this right?
yeah.
Wait.
I don't know who's right or wrong.
I don't know, guys. Like,
It's close. It's close enough. Make the hand with make a Z with your hand.
Zorchids! Yeah.
Zorchids.
Too funny.
That was just water, but the cool thing about them is that they are just like our anthurium, and they get diva baths. Just like we all need diva baths after a long day at work. Like, just leave them overnight in a bath of water, submerge the cut end and the rest of the flower, and it sucks up all the water, and it's like super happy in the morning. Like, I don't know. It's just crazy. It still blows my mind. And I'm so bummed because I have them in the studio and I was going to like show and like talk about them. And like, here we are.
Well, we're audio only right now. So if you want to try and describe it, you could do your best or just at least pitch the people who don't know them yet.
Okay. So Zorchids are basically the next gen of artfully enhanced live flowers out of House of Stems, and they have this beautiful iridescent finish, just like our erytherium do, which are our iridescent anthurium. And basically, the paint that I designed, it extends the life of the flower, just like it does for anthurium. It kind of acts like, it's not plastic, but it kind of acts like saran wrap. Like it like doesn't allow water to evaporate out of the top. And so that's why we leave the backs unpainted.
It gives it a clear coat.
It's an anti-transparent.
It's exactly that. It's like a clear coat. It like seals the flower.
It seals the top of the flower in a way that makes the flower exist a lot longer.
Okay, so that's an anti-transparent, and it's exactly what it happens. It seals it. It's almost like deodorant of it. That's how you can explain it. So,
I just love what she just said, though. Artfully
anti-transparent.
Enhanced.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Artfully enhanced. That's good. So,
and what's also really cool about the paint is that if the flower starts to kind of like lose its shape, the paint retains its structure. So it kind of acts like training wheels when the flower's rehydrating. So it can go back to its like original shape. It's pretty cool.
It's like a faja.
A what?
A faja. A
Faja,
faja is a
Skims,
gertie,
Spanx.
like a gertie, or like
Skims,
a corset
like
kind.
Skims. It's like Kim's Skims.
Oh,
Shapewear.
okay. Oh,
It's shapewear.
I'm like, I'm overalls every day. What is shapewear? Yeah. I don't know. So anyway, so Zorchids are these gorgeous cymbidium stems, and they are like this regal sort of caviar element that you would add to an arrangement or a tablescape to like level up. It's got this quality that's almost like depends on like, I'm working on prototyping. There's like hundreds of orchids in my studio now with tags on them, and I have a log of like all the formulas and everything. We have several generations of formulas at House of Stems.
That's so cool.
There's actually 5 generations. Yeah, we're always evolving. We're always changing. We're always trying to get better. Yeah, they're just amazing. Like you have to, like, I don't know about you guys, but I hear often is like, they're so much better in person.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, all of the House of Stems really are.
You get to appreciate because in person, you get to see how the colors change,
Right.
the variation, the depth of it. You get to see the shine.
Right.
In person, it's amazingly like, wow. Like they stand out in arrangements and they stand out in pictures. But when you hold one in person, you're like, holy fuck, this is gorgeous.
1000%. But also for those doing events and doing styled photo shoots, the pictures, the colors, the way that it captures. I mean, we just did a blog about the bridal trends with the Sarah Campbell, and she had
they steal the show in every picture.
I had to stop, like, because I wanted to put it on every single picture. I wanted to put it. It was just so beautiful.
Yeah, no, literally.
The model was gorgeous, and
it's a one-stop shop for incorporating palettes as well. So like if you've got metallics, I mean, I can literally, I don't know. I'm like a huge like paint flower, like color nerd. Like I was an artist before I was a florist. And I know paint like really well and like the way things work with it. So like someone recently hired us to do like bespoke stuff for a brand for House. And I custom mixed all of the paint to match nail polish colors, and they matched them exactly. And I was like kind of concerned that the brand would be like, why do you have this exact finish? Like, yeah. So I don't know. I think it's really cool because it also incorporates like metallics.
Right.
So if you have flatware, like if there's silver or there's gold on a tablescape and you're like looking for ways to balance out the colors or like incorporate and tie it in, like Zorchids or iridescent are the way to go. I get sick of things easily, and I have been painting iridescent and for many years now, and Zorchids recently, and I just love them. I never get tired of them. They just always surprise me. They're always different.
Well, that is going to lead us into my next question, because Flower Pistol, you got to go all the way back and you got to give us a little bit of history and all the stuff that led you up to where you are now, because I think your color blending, your color matching, the color palettes you put together are flawless. So please tell us, where did you come from? How did you get into flowers?
Outer space. No, I'm just I don't know where it came
Zorchids.
from. I was beamed down from a ship at some point in my early years. No, I born and raised in Jersey. Didn't grow up with a lot and wanted to make sure that I would never have to worry about bills and paying for things. And so I worked really hard in school. I got an academic scholarship to college. I majored, at first was pre-med, and then I got to organic chemistry and I was like, this is not my thing. Organic chemistry is like absolutely miserable. It weeds everyone out. Like the number of people that are pre-med before OChem and after is like probably like, it dwindles the population. Okay. And then I switched to fine art. Like I felt being pulled. I've always been an artist. Like I could draw before I could walk. I would just lay on the floor in the kitchen with crayons, and it was my favorite thing to do.
Were you good at any kind of art or all art, or pretty much were you one direction?
Drawing is easy. Here's one of my drawings. So we're at home here. I guess we're not videoing, but this is like,
wow.
Oh wow.
Holy shit, that's good.
Yeah. Kristen is showing us a beautiful
Wow.
what is that? Is that pencil?
Charcoal?
It's reductive charcoal. And it's a Dugutiki, a Malian tribal chief that I met in Africa when I was having my quarter life crisis. What?
You drew that in Africa, or?
Oh no, I drew it here. I sat on the floor and drank a bottle of wine and drew it.
From your memory or from a picture?
Oh, from a picture. Wait. Oh, here's the guy. This is him.
Oh wow. Wow.
Oh shit, that is
It's
spot on.
for our listeners.
That is incredible.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow,
that is
wow,
spot on.
wow.
But yeah.
Is that a mixed wall, or is that all your work on that wall?
Well, these are all my photos. Yeah, these are all my photos. This is my work.
I like the one to your left that says "fuck" 100 times.
Oh yeah, with glitter. That's like me in a nutshell. Just like several, bucks and just all in glitter with exclamation points. So anyway, I have always loved art. I just never thought that it was a viable career option. And so I actually, in college, I had this moment where I was like, I'm going to be an artist. And I got into the fine art program, and then I took classes for a year. No, 3 semesters before I quit because I didn't like them telling me how to do my work. Mm-hmm. I was like, you don't know what I'm trying to do, so stop telling me what to do. Like, I was like, I understand that, like, you're trying to coach me on technique, but don't, it's just, it didn't work for me. I'm pretty, determined. And I was like, fuck this, I'm out. So I then changed to psychology, and I was like, cool, I'll go into business. I'll be like an IO psychologist, which is an industrial organizational psychologist. I'm like huge on efficiency. And so, I graduated. I went into consulting. I got a job right out of college in Boston with a big consulting, a sister of McKinsey. Okay. Aligned myself with, their new business efforts, did, a lot of work, worked really hard, and then actually was invited to leave with a senior partner to start another consulting firm. And at that point, I had decided I was going to move out to LA. So I worked remotely and did that. And then one day I just had this, oh man, I feel like sharing this conversation because it is such a pertinent moment, not only for me, but I think for other people, is like, what would you do? So my boss is my old boss, very cool. We're still friends, like family to me. He would always ask, he was huge on questions. He's like, what would you do if you never had to work another day in your life? And like, there's that standard answer of like, I would start a charity and travel the world. And like, everyone does that, right? And it's like, that would be really fun too, of course, right? Let's give back. But I was thinking about it for some reason while I was running one day. And I was like, I would be a florist. And it just felt right. I like stopped running and I was like, because I just love flowers and the color, and then like the business side of me that I had like sort of inherited from like my life at that point. It just felt like the perfect marriage of like what was next. And I realized I didn't want to be my boss. Like my boss was awesome.
I'm sorry, but I can't stop thinking of like when you said stop running. I felt like the Forrest Gump theme, like the Forrest Gump, and she's like running. She's like, I want to be a florist.
That's exactly. It was literally like what I can go home. I stopped.
That's awesome.
And I kind of knew it's kind of like when you get bit by a certain, like it's an itch and you gotta scratch it. And I was in my YOLO phase, right? I was like, I don't live once, I gotta go. I gotta do this. Like, it's my life. So I left.
Do you remember what year that was?
20 something, 2016, 17. I'm the worst person with like time. My whole life.
We have like Joelle.
My whole life is a run-on sentence. So I did that, and then I went to Africa, and I went on a safari
alone for fun, just on a whim.
Kilimanjaro.
You climbed Kilimanjaro
with my neighbors.
Cool.
I did Kilimanjaro. Cool. Yeah. It's kind of a long hike.
Impressive.
Honestly. Yeah, but still, I'm a very intense person. Like, I love pushing myself to limits that are like outrageous, like physically, emotionally, mentally. Like,
you picked the right industry for that.
Just go work it out. Go sweat it out. Like, go run yourself to the ground, and you'll reduce yourself to find the answer. Like, mostly, that's kind of how I operate. But I'm an emotional person. I think a lot of creative people are. Like, I'm a very sensitive, emotional person, and like, it's really been amazing to move into art and like channel that towards like my work. And instead of being like, oh, I work in consulting all day, let me remodel my kitchen throughout the night. Like, I don't know.
That's so true.
So now I come home and I'm like, well, I'm good. I'm like, I don't need to do anything. I would like sit in my driveway, hang out with my neighbors. Kilimanjaro. I started to be a florist. Didn't know really much of anything, but I would wake up really early and drive downtown to the floral market, and it was scary but exciting. And I would talk to all the vendors.
Were you doing orders like retail florists, or were you doing like events?
No, this was like my savings account. I had no income.
But what were you like? You're selling bouquets, events? What
I wasn't selling anything. I was like, I'm learning. I'm in the school of don't go broke, be able to pay your rent, and learn as much as you can. So I would buy things and bring them back to my place and play with them. and study them. And
Gotcha.
I'm like one of those people like learns through experience. Like you can tell me not to do something and I'm probably still going to do it
Right.
because I got to do it myself. Like, and no one cared. Literally, I started working and I put on Instagram and I was trying to like mimic like the big florists at the time and I actually don't even remember. Like, I didn't know who the big florists were. I just knew like, I'm like, oh, I could do this. And then I started playing with it and I'd like, take pictures and yeah, no one really cared. And then I said, well, no one cares. I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want. So I opened up my craft closet. I opened up my closet of like painting and like everything that I had that I like had been collecting dust. Cause while I was in consulting, by the way, I had stopped painting. I had stopped drawing. Like that part of me had basically gone into dormancy or died. Like it was like in a coma, which is sad because it is such a huge part of who I am. And I'm so glad that I left and made that change at that time in my life. So I said, yeah, fuck it. Let's throw some paint on these. And it was originally because I bought, older flowers and they were bruised. And I was like, I gotta cover this up. Like they look bad in these photos. And then I started to learn about how paint and different ingredients like mix with flowers and which flowers and start playing. And then I started using like random things like artichokes. And then one day on Instagram, wait, I'm not kidding. I can't believe I'm going to tell you this, but I don't care. I was literally, I've been trying to do floral design for like a year. And I was just not, it wasn't sticking. And I was just like, it was hard. I would go to hotels and I'd be like, hey, you want to use me? And they'd be like, we don't know you, but we've had the same vendor for like 15 years. And that's a contract that's like locked down. And you're like, okay, bye. Like I tried my best. I found my first wedding through a Craigslist ad and basically had run out of like the savings that I had allocated for this journey of my life. And I was like, I have to go back to private equity. I have to go back to consulting. And I was interviewing. I didn't have healthcare. And that's just honest. I mean, a lot of small business owners, it's one of those ugly things that we don't like to talk about, like having healthcare. It's like kind of embarrassing. You're like, oh man, like I don't have healthcare. Like, but when you work in a big corporation, that stuff is a given. When you work on your own, it is not a given and it's very expensive. Right. And so anyway, I started interviewing. This job that I had like a line in, like a referral, interviewed, and I knew it was like not for me, but I was like, I need a job. And they were like, we love you, but you're too advanced. And I was like, I know, I just need a job. I'm not gonna try and climb. They're like, there's no upward mobility for you here. And I was like, I don't want to move up. I just want to pay my bills. Like, so anyway, it was like, they were like, basically you were shoo-in, and then came to that they were like, no. So it was like a Friday morning, I got the news, and I was like, oh my God. And I was like, I'm going to Taco Bell. I was crying. Like, I had big sunglasses on. I was like, I'm going to Taco Bell. And so I like drove to Taco Bell, and I like ordered everything on the menu. And I mean, the total was probably like $20.
$10, yeah.
Because that's Taco Bell. Not anymore, right? But like at the time. And I pull up and the man like hands me this like bucket of Dr. Pepper. And I was like, yes, I don't even hate on Dr. Pepper. I know there's people listening right now that
I am a Dr. Pepper
It tastes like
lover.
dirty barbecue water.
No,
it does not. It's amazing.
It's my favorite.
Anyway, they hand me the barbecue water, and I hand them my credit card. The guy's like, it's declined. It was declined. And I was like, there's like a line of cars behind me, and I start sobbing. And he's like, well, you can have the Dr. Pepper.
That's the saddest Dr. Pepper ever. You just drinking that alone in the car, parked.
Tears. And I pulled over. I didn't even leave the Taco Bell parking lot. I was like, what did I do with my life? Like, I am a fucking nightmare. Like, I fucked up my life. Like, I did the wrong thing. And then literally like 2 days later, Katy Perry found me on Instagram.
Fucking A.
And I was like, and I still have chills talking about it. And I was like, this isn't
like
real.
A movie script, like a story. Yeah, it doesn't sound real.
I woke up in the middle of the night. You guys ever take naps? I'm talking a lot, I know, right? But like,
don't worry, keep going.
I'm so excited. No one asked my story anymore because like I'm surrounded by people who like know my story. But like, you know, you guys ever take naps in the middle of the day and you wake up and like no one's around and you're like, what is going on? Like you feel kind of lost and you're like, where is everyone? Like there's no one outside. I took a nap in the middle of the day because I like didn't have anything to do and I was like unemployed. And I woke up and I was like, Katy Perry's following me. She DM'd me and she was like, I don't know who you are, but I love you and I want to work with you. And I was like, this is a fake account. And it wasn't a fake account. And literally like 6 hours later, I was on my way to Katy Perry's house. So like,
wow.
What was your reaction? Is it jumping up, screaming? Are you running around in circles in your apartment? What is the reaction when you get that, when you see the DMs?
Well, if you woke up, didn't you think, oh my God, I must be dreaming. This has got to be fake.
It was. And I was like, there's no way this is real. And no one was around.
Nobody can show this to somebody.
I couldn't be like, it's really happening. So it was like one of those weird moments and it was really happening. And she has, you know, Katy has been just a true like light in my world and like really just talk about like giving someone else a step up, like giving them a platform to show their work and support them for no reason other than that you believe in them is pretty fucking rad. And
wow, beautiful.
What video was it for?
Never Worn White, which actually she was announcing her pregnancy.
Right.
So that was really cool to like learn a little bit about that beforehand. And, you know, I've done, you know, a bunch of work for her since then. But yeah,
that was her,
you know, Katy opened her world to me and introduced me to all of her friends. And then her friends have friends. And like, it really just gave me a voice because I was just this small voice trying to like live my life, you know? And she was like, I don't know you, but you have something that I like. And she has just, she amplified it and gave me the space to be myself. And like, there was never, you know, there's no like, oh, I want it this way. She's like, no, I trust you, go. And yeah, it was just, you know, I have to say one of the most, it is perhaps the most like life-changing moment.
Wow, that's
very
Mimi's
pivotal
showing
moment.
me some pictures of what you did with her, and that is just amazing.
I'm really curious. Do they give you like a budget? Do they just say do whatever you want?
We had a budget. I built the structure that she sat on in my carport.
Okay.
I asked all of my neighbors if they could park on the street for like 36 hours, and I built it in the garage.
Wow.
And the garage is like
wild.
open to air. So we like, I like hung it. Yeah, I worked my ass off, and I was so pleased with how it ended up. And and she wore Erytherium. That's how Erytherium began, by the way.
Ah, sick. That's a cool.
It was inspired by Katy. Yeah. Wow. So anyway, yeah, the Taco Bell story, and then like, you just go.
Yeah.
The answer is
and
yes.
And you've been going nonstop since then, right?
But you worked with other artists. You worked with SZA. You worked with Doja Cat. Who are they? Where did you end up? They're artists. They're artists.
Oh, I'm gonna send you pictures of them too, Mike.
Yeah, they're beautiful artists. But
they
what led you to HBO's Full Bloom?
Yes, music artists.
Okay.
Did HBO's Full Bloom reach out to you, or did you stumble upon them? Or
another hoax.
Happen?
I was like, no way, this is real, and I'm not doing this. I like rejected the invite. I was like, no, I'm a massive introvert. Like, I really love to be at home. Like, yes, I do like fun glitzy things occasionally, but like 9 times out of 10, I'd rather be sitting on a lawn chair in my driveway, drinking a glass of wine and saying hi to my neighbors and petting their dogs. Like, that is who I am. And I prefer to be that way. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. It's Friday. My brain is fried. I don't know.
That's a Jersey thing. That's not an LA thing.
I don't know where the fuck I am. I've created myself a little island.
What do you mean, sitting outside in the yard?
Island.
Yeah, sitting in the driveway in your lawn chair. That's not like a California thing.
Yeah, but I have to say, like, yeah, you give off a California, but it's not quite California. Like, as soon as you meet, I mean, you don't have full California girl, you know?
Yeah. No, I don't know what I was beamed down from an alien ship. I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know. Find us the planet, though. We want to know.
Pardon?
I said, find out the planet. We have to find your home planet.
All right. I'll send
I might
something
know some
out into
people
the
from
ether.
there. So, what made you say yes finally to the full bloom?
Oh, well, I talked to them and I mulled it over and I was like, this is like a reality competition show. And, you know, you never really know how it depends. You're in the hands of like the cutting room and the editors. And so like, if they really want it to be like a very dramatic show, and we were season 1, so there was nothing to like look back at. There's really no benchmark for a show like that. And so I was like, well, I'll behave. And I won't get crazy. And at the end of the day, exposure is a great thing. And I went into it really excited. I just thought, oh, I was working on a Katy Perry music video as I was being like audition cast for like Full Bloom. I did my makeup for the audition for Full Bloom in a parking lot, and I ate like warm salad with my hand from the passenger seat of my car. That was literally 2 days old. It was like cooked spinach, but I needed to eat something, and I had no silverware in my car. But
That's
yeah,
brave.
I drove to
was brave.
Burbank. I'm hardcore. Like I like. I'm telling you, my life is a run-on sentence because I just don't stop. I stop when my body shuts down on me because there's so much in my brain. I only have 2 hands, and I'm trying to do everything I can before I die. You know, like, and like I get so overwhelmed because there's so many ideas in my brain. There's so many things I want to do, but it's like, you know, I'm only one person. So
I really relate a lot to what she's been saying pretty much across the board. I have a very similar scenario to a lot of that, like trying to figure out the art side versus the business side of like marketing and things like that. But I'm like in my head, I want to be an artist, but you know what I mean? The kind of same category.
it's really hard. They don't get along. The two disciplines are not friends. Mm-mm.
And then there's people who like they can mold it. Like I was telling Ryan that I saw the Jim Henson documentary on Disney Plus recently, and he did he would purposely revolt when he had to do big work, so he would go on the other end, you know. But at the same time, that made that is what people liked about him. Yeah. And then so whatever his creative genius was still bringing him money, and he's revolting against it because he didn't want that. Like he wanted to be creative. But I think there are people, like Ryan's really good at it. Like you give Ryan something and say, okay, we have to do this for a trade show. And you're thinking the boring, and we never come out as boring.
That's a great example of how I'll use what I'm doing in work to show off some kind of artistic expression or creativity or anything like that.
Ryan, what is your medium of choice?
So I mix it around. Like my favorite thing is I like to draw with a pencil and paper and like a sketchbook. But I would say I'm mixed media because I definitely mix digital with physical. I like experiences. I like creating a full down to the details, all the little things like that. So when people ask me that, like, oh, I like to say I'm an artist, I don't have like just one type of art that I could clear cut say, because it's really kind of like a mood, what I'm in the mood for, what I'm in. It's like 100%. A trend for that season. And then I move on to the next. I was into acrylic, bending acrylic and melting acrylic for a couple of months. You saw it in some of the trade shows. Mm-hmm. And then I moved on. And yeah, so right now I'm kind of like in between projects, looking for that next inspiration.
Like Mickey Mouse and cigarettes.
That was a moment. Yeah, I had a whole Mickey Mouse Marlboro combination thing that I ran with.
Mickey Mouse and cigarettes. Can you tell me more about that?
Oh my goodness, I have to send her a picture.
So it's the two classic icons mashing, right?
It's the mashup. I love it. My
dad was a classic Marlboro red guy forever, so that image is embedded in my brain, that brand. And I've married into a Disney family. So yeah, it was a perfect little merger.
How there's certain memories, visuals that stick with us and like impact our work forever, you know? Like you saw a lot of things, I'm sure, but like that specifically stuck with you.
Yeah. And my memory is rattled from football and weed. I have very spotty childhood memories. So
you
certain things.
Weed does funny things to your memory, because like
devil's lettuce.
The devil's lettuce,
it's our favorite flower,
will absolutely make me forget my short-term memory, and then 3 weeks from now, it's all in my head as if I've been working on it for 3 weeks. And it's like, how did I forget this? And how did I remember it? How did I remember this?
Right.
Like, what brought this back into my head? It's really crazy.
But there's certain people that remember
The universe
so much
is a
of
weird
their
place.
so much of their childhood. People remember that, but like not
A
me.
lot of football took a lot of my
Mike is
childhood.
also an artist. Mike has our whole office has a bunch of paintings that Mike has made.
Well, that's because I had to move out of my house and I had no place to put it.
So you put them in your second house.
There you go.
Ryan was artistic when he was a little kid. He always did weird things, and he always drew things and color, and stickers was something.
Oh yeah. Do you have oily stickers?
He loved stickers.
What'd you say?
Sticker
Oily
collections?
stickers?
Yeah, like did you ever do sticker collections? Like with your friends and
No.
trade sticker books? I don't know. Maybe that was
Yes,
a
he
weird
did.
thing in my
We had
school.
I had trading cards. We were big in. I was
I
baseball and Pokemon and shit.
And he
did
used
that.
to
I would
make all
just
these
take
weird
masking
noises.
tape.
He used to make all kinds of weird noises. We used to call them sound effects.
Well, it's probably my ADHD. We didn't know.
Yeah.
I still run
yeah.
around making noises.
Yeah.
I think one of Ryan's newfound artistic talents is helping others get to where they want to go, and I think that's
Very true.
huge.
Yeah,
Very
as
that's
a-
really cool.
and so
I sense
I don't
that.
feel like
I
I'm a
pick up
good
on that
teacher.
vibe.
It's hard. It's hard to be. I don't have
But you're not.
patience.
Okay,
No,
so
no,
hold
that's
on.
not
Hold
true.
on. Time out.
That's
you're not.
false.
You're not.
That's a
That's very
big false.
You're a
Yeah.
very
That's
good
very
teacher,
false.
but you don't see it as teaching. For you, it's
Right.
more guidance.
yeah.
More guidance and more the way you see things. You are very good at helping people see your vision.
Mhm.
Because even like in times where we sit down and we look at
There is
the
a clear
trade
vision
show,
in my head.
there's an
It is trying to
absolute
get
clear,
there.
and you're very articulate at describing it.
He
to the
he gets
person who really
impatient
can't
though
see it.
when people don't get it what he's saying. Like
No,
he
I think-
gets a little bit
yeah.
impatient.
He might get
Gotta speak
impatient,
my
but not
language.
not with like Joelle or I. Like I'm
Emergency in Jersey, you know.
I am
I
a
don't know.
horrible. I'm a copycat graphic designer. Like I wouldn't even say graphic designer. I just know Photoshop or a little bit of Illustrator and here and there. But when he's working with us and he tells me, okay, you might want to use this tool or whatever, like he's so patient. And with Joelle, like I've seen like Joelle and him just interacting, and I learned just listening to them, just listening.
Yeah. This is
So
a
it's
better
crazy.
college than the one you go to, Joel.
Oh, for sure.
I have
Because
to
Ryan
say,
Black.
100%.
I fully
Ryan
have
Black
experienced
University.
Ryan in that
RBU.
space. You know,
Yeah,
I did
you
that
did
install.
at Fresh Fest.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, like,
Yeah.
I did that install with the ice cream cones, and Ryan,
Which
you were
was
rad.
badass.
Like, you were so
Everybody
cool.
was staring at those. It was so awesome at Fresh Fest.
I would say that right back at you. You worked with us. You were very
But
accommodating.
you made it so easy. You know, Ryan, like not everything, not everyone understands what you're trying to, like, I will say not everyone understands what I'm always trying to do. And so, Ryan, like you really truly made the whole thing so effortless. And over at they're not Pedal Productions anymore, so let's say Pedal.
Right.
You know, Carlos and Rafi, like, and their entire team, and like I just, yeah, I don't know. You guys are amazing, and it was so easy. It was like, yeah, it felt like someone who spoke my language for real.
Well, and that's the other thing with Ryan. Like, I think like he's really good with the creative people, but he's also knows how to like work with people who like just everybody. So it's not just, it doesn't matter what level you're at or what type of art you're into or who you are. Like he makes it work like for both of you. So that, I think that's so true because him and Carlos work. I mean, I sit there sometimes listening to him and Carlos talk and it's like a ping pong machine, like the boom, 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 boom. And in the end, it's like, wow, like it's exactly how they pictured it, you know? So I think that's pretty cool.
for sure.
Well, thank you for the ego boost.
I know, this has been
Let's
the
go back to
episode-
Krista.
You deserve
Ryan.
it. You deserve it.
Yay!
Well, no.
Snaps for Ryan.
Back- going
Go
back real
RBU.
quick though, going back to Fresh Fest, like it was really cool. We asked you to do it. You said yes without hesitation. You came down. You had a
I actually flew in
hotel
for 24
experience.
hours.
Horrible.
I had pulled in an
hotel
all-nighter.
experience.
I had an all-nighter in Los Angeles. Took an Uber directly from my studio to LAX. Slept like, 2.5 hours on the flight. Landed in Miami in the evening. Took an Uber right to Pedal.
Mm-hmm.
Carlos was like, I'll have someone, a few people there. So I was there and I was like, I'm going to be here all night working. Is that okay? And they're like, I stayed up all night. And
Carlos told me. Carlos was like, she said she was going to work all night.
Because she worked all night, her hotel didn't get clocked in. So then they didn't have a room for her when she was ready to sleep. And then they gave her a shitty room.
Not my favorite.
No shower. No, that was my nightmare. That was literally my nightmare.
This is my nightmare.
I look like a cross between a chimney sweep and a Fruity Pebbles box most of the time. So I showed up and they were like, no room for you, lady. And I was like, oh man, I'm really tired. You're going to piss me off in a second. Like, but it all worked out. It was fine. But the thing is like, we worked all night and I was like, I don't think anyone thought I was going to work all night, but I worked all night because I needed to get everything set up for his team. They're like an army. Shows up and I was like, I needed to create like the first one. It's, efficiency, that thing about efficiency. I'm like, this is where it counts. I have to stay up all night and get this done so we cannot delay everything else. So like, I need to have the first one done. I need to have the structures set up and I need them to understand what we're doing. And so like, once the team came into work, Carlos was like, okay, go take a nap. So I went back to the hotel and I like slept for like 90 minutes. And I think I was like, honestly, like I've been like counting macros. And so like I brought my protein powder and I was just like drinking like protein powder in a water bottle. And I was like, I don't think about these things when I'm working. Like I think of my brain is doing its thing. My body's a shell. Like it's just like moving around. It's like, I don't need to I'm like only when I'm like really on empty and I'm like, oh God, my muscles are failing me. Like I'll notice that like my hands are shaking or like I'm swaying a little bit or I'm clumsier than normal because I am so driven. I'm so intense and passionate about what I'm doing that like the only thing that holds me back literally is my physical self and eating and drinking water.
Well, you were a trooper because you came, you conquered, then you partied with us. It was just amazing. And we were so grateful. And then we felt so bad. Ryan and I were like, oh, fudge, the hotel, the water didn't work in the room, or there was a bunch of problems.
Oh, that's okay. That was it's fine.
Yeah, but you were such a trooper about it. You were a trooper about it. We had other people who were like, oh, I didn't get this and I'm this and you need to, and you were just like, okay, let's go. And meanwhile, you walk into that museum and every single person was in awe with that. And then the story behind it, that you're sitting on the LA traffic and you felt like hot and that's what you was inspired. You're going to Miami. You're like cones, ice cream cones. And they were just enormous and beautiful. And yeah.
The product was amazing.
You helped us take Fresh Fest to that level, which it's going to be hard to beat next time. So
it's honestly one of my favorite installs because it was just like I got to be exactly what I wanted. It was simple, but it was also like there's like meaning behind that too, like the melting. And I made this big cherry out of plaster and like resin, which by the way, I will repair. It's on the list. I'm like, you guys sent it back and I'm like, there's like a dent because I had to seal it in resin before it was fully cured. Yeah, my life, I don't know how to explain how crazy and chaotic my life is. I don't know. Like,
I think it shows in the power of your art and in the power of the flowers that you've created. So let it go.
I appreciate that. But thank you for having me to do that install. It was so fun. Like,
oh yeah, our pleasure.
Right back at you.
It was great.
I would love to see what her work would be like, her account would be like if she had the amount of petals people behind her every day. That crew
army
working behind you every day. I wonder what that would be.
Oh my God. I just see, actually, she
her
would
eyes
be like,
just lit up. She got excited.
Like, maybe I'll do a little internship.
You should do an intern. Yeah.
I joked with like Rafi and Carlos. I was like, because I love working in like big numbers. We were like doing the install at the museum, but then I saw them doing like, there was like a whole line of people like doing arrangements. I like hopped on the line and I was like, I don't know what we're making, but I'm just going to follow the person next to me. Like there's something so powerful about working, quietly, diligently, and skillfully with other humans. Like I love it. It's so beautiful. So that like camaraderie that they have really fostered there has, is really something special. And I'll hop on that line any day. I'll work.
We need to do the first flower art residency, whatever that means.
I would love that. I would love it.
All right.
Well, hold on.
Questions?
I wanted to tell something to the flower pistol.
Sorry.
Before we close, I've been very quiet.
I know.
You have been.
Yeah, what happened to you? What's wrong?
Because when I get nervous when I'm in a room with somebody who I'm a big fan of. I get like I've told you before, when I'm talking to somebody, like if I talk to the boss of big company that I really respect or something, I can't talk. I'm humming. I just can't talk. But so it goes back for me, really back in time when I used to be a bouquet maker in New York. Back in the day when in the late 80s, early 90s, if you went to see any flowers in the supermarket, they were in a clear packaging. It's just flowers in clear packaging, or maybe in some white paper. That was about it. And then I made this trip to Europe, to Holland, and I came across this packaging company that had all this cool metallic color, crazy scalloped edges, all this great stuff that I saw we've never seen that in the United States, but it's in Europe. It's very popular. So I put it all on a plane and I brought pallets of it back to the United States, and I would bring it to these supermarkets, and they'd be like, oh no, we only do clear. And then finally, after convincing some buyers, they finally tried it, and being able to color coordinate the flowers. This is when bouquets, before monochromatic was a thing. We made it a thing, and we brought these flowers, and we would take these combination of colors and then match them up with some of this mylar metallic, beautiful. Some of it was embossed. It was just really nice, and everybody thought we were crazy. But so that's when I realized that color can really play with your mind, and color could really jump out at your eyes, and it could be different, right? So ever since then, I've been on this like color enhanced or tinted kick. I've been on this 30 something years. I've been like a fan of it, but the event community, the floor, that community was always like, no, that is no good. And when we bought the farm, fast forward 2017, 2016, we bought the farm. And the very first thing I wanted to do was really get into color enhancing the roses. And it was still kind of like, it was out there. People were doing it. They were doing the rainbow rose and different things, but it wasn't a thing. And we made it so it was a real focal point for me. And we really invested a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of energy in our marketing, in our trade shows, and everything that we do to try to bring more art to flowers, specifically roses, right? And then fast forward another few years, 2 years ago, October, we went to the big trade show in Ecuador, and we had a stand there for the first time, I believe. And pretty much every single stand had painted roses of some sort or another. Every single stand. They had it in their installations. They had it everywhere. And then there's you, right, doing this cool shit with the anthuriums and now with the cymbidiums. And you're like, you're in your own creative way, making it more legit to play with colors and craziness when it comes to flower design. And it's being more and more accepted every single day, every single week, every single month. People don't realize that farms, they sell their flowers cheap. You know, it costs real money to grow flowers. Like it doesn't cost 20 cents to grow a flower. Yeah. It costs real money to grow a flower. And a farm is, if they're selling a rose, let's just say at the farm for 30 or 40 cents, they ain't making money. They're just flipping dollars. But if they can sell that same rose by putting some art to it, color enhancing it, making it a little bit nicer, crazier, whatever, when they could sell it for 90 cents or $1, now all of a sudden that farm has a bigger income coming back. So it's people are investing in that. And it's people like you, creative people like you, that are like helping move that along. And I've been waiting 30 fucking years for it. You know what I'm saying? I've been waiting a long time.
Wow.
I've been waiting a long time. What took you so long, Flower Pistol?
She was in space.
That was orbiting. I don't know. It took a while to land.
I am a huge fan of what you do. I'm a huge fan of how you do it. Every time I see somebody asking for it, I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I like it, because it was like taboo for so long. It's like, no, ew,
Oh, wow.
I can't ever think of using that. There was some guy on Instagram, remember, making fun of the painted flowers in Trader Joe's or someplace. Remember that guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, this guy's crazy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. You can really make an event pop if you subtly incorporate the right colors, the right look, the whatever. And then when you came to Fresh Fest, I was waiting. And when you came to Fresh Fest, I saw you come in. You went in there, and I had never seen you before. And you came in, you were in there like in your overalls. It was like this is my work suit. This is what I wear to work every day. And she went in there, and she was in there alone, and she was putting that thing together. And I went around and I came back. I went around and came back, and I saw what you finished and what you did. I was like, man, that is so cool.
Cool.
I am a huge fan, and I want to just say thank you for everything you do for the industry, everything you do to bring the weird, the unaccepted into the business, right? Because everyone's stuck in that rut, natural, and it isn't only natural. And let me tell you something. Wait till you see what comes next, because there's a lot of cool shit coming, and there's a lot of new stuff coming, and people like you just help move that movement forward. So all you haters out there, sorry, but this is how it is, man. Thank you very much. Bravo.
Wow.
Great job. Great job.
Round of applause for that. Hell yeah.
Oh man, I'm tearing up. Listeners can't see that, but I have to say thank you so much for those words. Like, I feel like really seen and appreciated. It's hard work, and it's a beautiful thing to be able to express yourself through art. And when I started House of Stems, all I wanted to do was expand the floral alphabet. Every piece of work I do is a love letter to a stranger, and I don't always know everyone that sees my work, and my hope
Mimi's
is that
crying too now.
that like my work touches someone's heart in a way that, like, I wrote them a love letter. And I just have to say thank you for such kind words, truly.
Yeah, it's all true, man.
Really
it's all
appreciate
true.
You
It's all
earned
true.
that shit.
Beautiful, yeah.
You earned it.
Nobody wanted to
did
pay
it.
attention. They said you're crazy. Nobody wants to buy this.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to expand. I want people to be able to express themselves fully. You know, we have a standard alphabet, and I just wanted to expand it. And
congratulations, you did it. You're still doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything
Well,
She did it with the unexpected.
She
She did it with the
hold on.
unexpected and the out of the ordinary.
The
right?
anthurium. No one was taking an anthurium and doing anything with it.
Well, no, the
you know?
Sasson brothers were messing with that in Holland as well, because they're the nutty professors of flowers, just like Flower Pistil is. Like they have been doing this Do you know VIP in Holland? They're as crazy as you are. They come out with all kinds of color enhanced products that no one would ever think about. And like you, they're just so creative, and they just bring art to flowers.
It's an art form. It's that's why I think floristry is a big umbrella, and I consider botanical artistry as a small subset under that umbrella. And it is a fusion of art and floral design, and it's a new field. And this is why I say I feel like a black sheep, and I don't know what I'm doing most of the time. I don't know how to classify myself, because I'm literally designing what the career path is for what I think that this role is. And I can only, I can look backwards and say, this is the career path that you can sign up for, but I don't know what it is yet. I do have an idea of where I'm going. I just need to find the time to get it there. But I think botanical artistry, we're just starting. There's a whole world that we have left to discover.
Whole world. And it's worth investing in. Keep going, man.
Thank you.
Keep going.
Thank you.
Love it.
Oh, that feels like a real heart hug. Like my heart is like smiling and crying at the same time.
I know.
Is there any sneak peeks? I know you just put Zorchids out there. Zorchids. Is there anything else on the horizon? Is there anything you're thinking about? Is there? Oh,
she's gonna show us.
Oh, we got a sneak peek.
Do you guys see that my overall is being held together with a zip tie, by the way?
Yeah.
I love these things. I'm never getting rid of them.
So you would like this. I don't know if you ever saw a picture, but maybe Mimi could send you a picture. Our artists at our farm that do all the painting of the roses all wear tie-dye overalls. That is their uniform. So they have a specialized uniform because they're a specialized unit within the farm. So all the farm employees wear a certain uniform, and then the art department wears a completely different uniform.
I love that. Bravo. That's amazing.
No, those are hand dyed by some hippie in California.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So I can't believe I'm going to share this. I don't know. I'm just feeling very comfortable, and you guys are really great. Well, so House of Stems will be expanding a little bit into opening sort of a second area called House and Home, and it's artfully enhanced preserved botanicals. Ooh. So this is a framed iridescent.
Wow, look at that.
Oh my gosh. That just
holy shit, I love that.
I feel like the claw is our master.
Yeah.
So they're in shadow boxes. They're in process right now in the studio. We will be releasing them soon, and they will be sold like individual pieces of art. I think it's very important to differentiate that these are not mass quantity produced. So every piece has its own number. This is the 10th one that we've made. And when you take the back off, it's signed and dated.
Awesome.
And so they'll be listed like a library on our website. So you can, look up and be like, oh, well, I bought, 0035. And you are the only person that owns 0035. And so when you buy that is what you get. And that is because flowers have languages, the way that they're shaped and the way that they tilt. And so we joke around, but like someone, a friend asked me for one for their family member, and they were like, well, I want this one. And I was like, but this one doesn't feel like them. This feels like it's for a cigar room, this is not for them. So I did the same finish on a different shaped preserved anthurium, and it was them because they have language. So this was just like, hey, I'm here. Like, I'm very simple and relaxed. But there's anthuriums that come, they're like long tongues, and there's curls, and they are tilted, and they turn, and the way their spadix sits.
Each one of them has its own individual personality. Each 100%.
So we're respecting that, and we're going to be listing them individually. And I keep, we're getting so close to be able to release them, but I'm like that crab from is that like Nemo that likes the shiny things? I love the shiny things. The little crab that collects things down in the bottom of the ocean.
Hercules?
Moana?
Moana.
Moana, yes.
Moana.
And I feel like when I walk through the studio, the portion of the studio that has them on a shelf, I'll be like, oh, I like that one. I'm going to take it with me. So I have a few of them in my home right now, and I'm just like, I need to stop taking them. I love them. And I just want to do a whole gallery wall of them. So
we need to get on the waiting list. We need one for the office.
You're on it already. Anyway, so that's exciting. And then, Flower Pistol is, I'm working on moving towards, I keep in mind sustainability and really want to make the miles that all these beautiful flowers travel. I want to make it count. And so I'm working on preserving them and making permanent botanical sculptures through preserved flowers that are big. So those are all in process, and it just takes time because again, I've Googled to be can I learn from someone else doing this? I haven't seen anyone else doing what I'm trying to do in my studio. And so there's a lot of trial and error, and sometimes you fail, and sometimes your credit card gets declined. Oh, the best part about the Taco Bell story, and I totally forgot, was so Katy Perry hired me to do that thing. And I was like, cool, I'm going to go. I deserve Taco Bell.
Oh, yeah. You went and got the real.
And then I was in the drive-thru, and I got a call for work for Lady Gaga. And I was like, I'm not going back to Taco Bell. I don't know what's going to happen every time I go there, It's very predictable. Like,
The
I don't know. There's
magical
like
You know
Taco
what?
Bell.
stuff happening over at that Taco Bell. Like,
That's
I don't know
probably
what's
what
gonna
planet
happen.
you're from. Taco
You're
Bell.
from Planet Taco Bell. You were in lines.
Anyway, but yeah, so just working on that stuff, and I think that when you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, the universe sends you things and like opens doors for you in a way that
Agreed.
you don't ask for it. It just delivers, and you
I
just gotta
agree.
have faith in the process and sit tight.
I agree.
Hell yeah.
Words to live by.
I'm
Words to
gonna
live
send you.
That's-
I'm gonna send you a couple bunches of funky cold Medina roses. I think you're gonna appreciate them.
Ooh.
Oh, I would love to work with them. Yeah, send me whatever. I'll do something. That would be amazing. Thank you.
It's one of the only rose varieties that I ever found that each and every one is different.
Wait, I thought funky. I thought that was like a nickname. Tell me about the rose. Like, they're. What do you mean they're like?
So when we first bought the farm, we were walking in the breeders' codes. So the breeders had, and they were in the second stage. They weren't quite at the final decision whether they were going to sell that variety or not. And I just saw it. It was just this weird colors and it was all weird shapes. And I was like, this is going to be cool. And they came up with some stupid name. I said, no, that name sucks. This is just a really funky rose. And I said, no, it's actually Funky Cold Medina. That's the name. And I really didn't know the lyrics of the song, really.
It just felt like it.
Cold Medina.
It's a little,
Yeah.
little
And I asked the
problematic,
breeder,
but
I
all right.
says, can I call it what I want if I buy it? He goes, yeah, go ahead. So that's what we did. And we were the first ones to have it. It's not a huge seller. It's a very small audience for that variety, but I refuse to take it out. And certain times of the year, the color is really intense. And it's absolutely my favorite rose natural rose, because they don't look like they came out of a machine.
I love it.
one of
Send
them
it.
is
I can't wait to touch them. Yeah.
That's the reaction we want.
They sound
Love
amazing.
that.
I'm in. Yeah. Oh wow. Oh, I can't wait. Can't wait.
Before we get to the questions, I do want to just quickly congratulate you on the botanical gardens.
Oh yeah, New York Botanical Gardens. Absolutely.
Thank you. That was a doozy.
awesome. Yeah, I'm sure it was, but that was awesome to see.
I worked so hard. It was what I was calling my personal Everest. And I went ham. I said, this is, I look at everything like I do in that nature, like as the last time I'll ever get invited to do something. And so I'm like, if I died tomorrow, I want to be like, I gave it my all, you know?
Yeah.
So
Love that.
I go hard. And like, I was at the gardens well after they closed, and they would have to I knew all the security guards at night, like, because they're just on patrol. And then here, the botanical gardens is a spooky place at night, by the way. These big creature trees. And so anyway, it's really, but it was a great thing. It was exhausting. It was such a fun, amazing project to be invited to be part of. And I appreciate the congratulations. Thank you.
And you touched so many people beyond just like, you know, our flower friends, because my brother lives in New York, and his friends were all posting about it. And I'm like, oh my God, that's flower pistol stuff. So it was so cool. Very, very cool.
Oh my gosh, that's like so nice. That's so cool.
Yeah.
I really wanted the space to feel warm. It was an ode to like being like the full circle, like of my life. I grew up on the East Coast and I like live in LA, but they invited me back. And I was like, now I get to bring what I've learned throughout my entire life, and I get to put it here on the place I grew up. And it was a scrapbook. It was an ode to all of my time on the East Coast and my childhood. So every piece in that exhibit is tied to very close to memories, like that Marlboro pack that you were talking about, Ryan. Like, there's everything there is very personal to me. And I wanted it to be warm and colorful, and like, I wanted people to feel comfortable.
Wow. They knocked it out.
Oh, thank you so much, you guys. Wow. Aw. I just like, so nice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You earned it.
Okay.
All right, Ryan, you're up.
Rapid fire. What is your favorite flower?
Okay. My favorite one, and they're so hard to get, I've only ever seen them in New York, are these like, they're literally 6 foot tall alliums that are curly, and I can't get them, and I'm obsessed with them. They're grown in Japan.
We can get them for you.
The 6 foot tall ones?
6 feet? Oh no.
You want to see? I'll send you guys
Well,
pictures.
we
They're
don't.
taller than
If they're from Japan, we'll talk to Casey. Don't worry, we'll talk to Casey.
I can't get them. There's the only place I can ever find them is in New York, and they're a very short season. So
Are they growing in New York?
Is it
No.
like the
No,
snake?
no,
Must be a
like
G
snake-
page.
Is it,
G page.
is it like the snake ball aliens? Or
The Swigglies?
squiggly
It's
wigglies?
it's a curly. The
Yeah,
big,
yeah,
big
they're the
ones that
curly. I
curl
call them curly, but
like that.
yes.
They go like.
I'm obsessed with them. I have a dried one on my dining room table right now.
Ah,
But
there you go. Yeah.
this, but 6 feet, and like the stem is like this
Yeah.
thick. Them. Anyway, that's my favorite.
Okay. What is the best sandwich?
Oh, okay.
a taco.
This is
Protein powder.
It's like the only way I can guarantee that if I put something in a bottle and I can carry it around with me. But the other, okay, my favorite sandwich is, well, I learned to have a wheat allergy. How horrible is that?
Oh, shit.
I learned about several years ago. I was getting all these migraines and I was like, there's something wrong with me. And it's been like my whole life. And like, I got a rash one day and I thought it was from foraging. And then my dermatologist was like, no, that's very specific rash. That's because you're allergic to wheat. And I was like, oh, great. So it gives me migraines. But my favorite sandwich is it's like a turkey sloppy joe. So you have to take it's called a turkey sloppy joe. So it's like do you guys know what I'm talking about?
I assume it's a sloppy joe with
There's a
ground turkey?
hoagie roll.
Or
No, it's not warm. It's a cold sandwich. So this is growing up in Jersey. This is like, oh my God, it's my favorite thing. Okay. I'm drooling. So it's like a hoagie roll, like Jersey, like bread, like a sub. And then they put butter on it and then Russian dressing and coleslaw, turkey, and Swiss cheese. Oh my God, guys. Game over. Game over. I would honestly, if it was sitting in front of me right now, I would eat it and have the migraine. I would deal with it.
I believe it. What is the most overrated
Anyways.
flower?
Oh, that's so mean.
We're going to ask underrated right afterwards, so don't feel bad.
Okay, I really don't like eucalyptus. Can I count that?
Of course. Yeah.
Like, not my thing.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's because it's everywhere in California. It's
that's right.
And it leaves like sap all over you.
It lines the streets of California.
Doesn't paint well.
No.
Not my fave.
Well, then what about the most underrated flower?
She's still thinking about that sandwich.
You guys, she's hungry.
Yeah, I just have like a sandwich in my head. I can like probably figure out how to make something like that. Most underrated. Okay, honestly, this is gonna sound like I think painted flowers widely are underrated. Like, unless you
yeah.
I think it's like a very specific skill to be able to incorporate them into your work and have your work still feel real and natural. So I do think that's hard. However, when it's done well, when it's done right, very, very underrated and overlooked. And yeah, that's it.
Preach.
Snap it up.
What is the scariest animal?
The honey badger.
Oh, that just
Honey
came
badger don't
back,
care.
remember?
Honey badger don't give a shit. It just
Honey
takes
badger.
what it wants.
Yeah,
Oh my
I think the
God.
honey badger is my spirit animal.
It's
I can see
coming
that.
back. People, it's coming back. The whole honey badger thing is coming back.
Because people don't know about it
Yeah,
anymore.
they're
They
like, oh my
forgot.
God, did
It's a
you know
whole-
about honey badger? I'm like,
It
oh
eats
yeah, like
snakes.
10 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, it eats snakes. Honey badger doesn't give a fuck.
Mhm.
Just does what it wants. It just does what it wants. It just takes and does what it wants. It knows what it is.
What is your go-to way to relax?
Probably some devil's lettuce in my driveway at sunset and like catching up with my neighbors.
Right on.
That's my favorite. I just love low key things. I just love to shoot the shit with my neighbors. That's it. Like random people. Like we all know each other. They got to know me through the pandemic because I'd be working in my carport. I didn't have a studio at the time. And so people now are like so stoked because they're like, we watched you work in your garage from nothing. And now you have a studio and you're doing all this stuff. And like, it's just I'm in a very special spot in Santa Monica where it feels like a small town. And
Nice.
I just enjoy it a lot. Yeah.
Do you all sit in one driveway, or does everybody in their own driveway and you just talk at each other through the grass?
It's weird. It's like my building, our driveway has a slope. So it's kind of like up. And we put our chairs out. And then it's like, it becomes like a little watering
bonfire
hole.
circle?
Like everyone comes
Yeah.
over, brings their dogs. We'll order
Yeah.
DoorDash to the driveway. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, if you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Clone myself. Is that a superpower? To
good
work
one.
double time,
That's a
super speed.
superpower.
Like
Do you
super
guys watch?
sonic
You watch the
hedgehog.
new season of The Boys yet?
Yes.
Oh no.
No, but I would do that.
Oh man, there's a clone in that, so that's why it made me laugh. It's graphic though. Okay. What kind of
I'll
flowers
have
do
to
you
look
want?
into that.
Yeah, maybe. What kind of flowers do you want at your funeral?
I've already planned out my funeral. My team knows this. And I'm like, you guys know
See?
how to do my casket, right? Like, it's going to have like the House of Stems finish, like chrome, of course. It's just iridescent. Yeah, I want to feel, I would have the alliums that are 5 feet. It would feel like my spirit, like seeping, like weaving in and out of the air, and like just sort of like this dark, but like fun, creative vibe, I think.
That's funny. I literally just saw a video of 2 guys painting a casket for their dad who passed. That was
I saw that
a car
too.
detailer.
Like a car. I saw the
painter.
same thing.
And,
I saw the same thing.
Iridescent paint on the casket. That's
Correct.
literally what I'm thinking right now.
So,
That's
by
it.
the way, this is a full announcement to anyone listening. Do not put car paint on your flowers, guys. I have to tell you. I will not tell you what is the formula at House of Stems, but it is not car paint, and they will kill your flowers. And we have had instances with that, and people are like, "Can you overnight these? We thought we could do it ourselves." You can't.
Oh,
it's
man.
okay, but try if you want. But like, it is not car paint, and please don't paint your flowers with it. That's just an announcement for everyone.
What is your go-to drunk food?
It used to be Taco Bell.
By the way, what is your Taco Bell order? I'm dying to know.
Oh, it's it's crunchy tacos, the 3 beef crunchy taco supreme with Dr. Pepper.
Uh-huh. Oh.
It's like a meal. It's a combo.
Mhm.
Yeah, I French fries. I can get French fries. I get a lot of French fries.
In-N-Out or
In-N-Out.
McDonald's?
They're not known for fries.
There's no In-N-Out like in Santa Monica, and like if I'm like
Oh.
drunk, I'm gonna fall asleep before it gets delivered, and then it's gonna be like on my doorstep. So yeah, I don't even know. Yeah, I honestly, fast food is like it's interesting because cutting wheat out of my life, unfortunately, it's like a bad ex, right? But it's good that you cut them out, like just like,
Right. But that's like most
like,
food, right?
But I eat so
Yeah,
much
definitely
healthier now.
part of
I
most.
have to eat healthier. I don't have options. Like I have trail mix. Trail mix is like my like treat. Apples, avocados, eggs.
Mike has really good treats too. All protein. He comes and he's giving us all his prosciutto and all his yummy.
Prosciutto with the
I
mozzarella.
love cheese. I could eat meat and cheese, like prosciutto and
This
like.
was a $20
Do you-
slice of prosciutto from
Do you have one of
Costco.
those like in a hamster cage, those water bottles like hanging up in your studio where you could just go? I imagine
No,
it's something like that.
I do when I'm crazy. Like things are. I will wear a little camelback backpack.
Yeah,
with a little-
it's the same. Yeah,
Because
same.
otherwise, I
shit.
don't drink. I just don't drink. It's
I use
bizarre.
those and I fill them up with scotch.
I have like 2 right side by side, like right straws, like a little bit of wine,
left
straws,
straw,
water.
yeah.
I don't know, mix it up. I'll have to.
Okay,
I'll
last-
have to do that next time.
Last question: could you suggest a future guest for the show?
Yes, for sure. Noah. Hold on. He's in Hawaii. His name's Noah.
Okay.
His work, I have to tell you, it makes me speechless. It is unreal. The level of patience and detail is exquisite. This man,
What's his
like,
Instagram handle?
it's WAIKAPU. I don't even talk to him that much. I mean, like, it's not like I don't spend a lot of time on Instagram. I'm like honestly on there to like share some things, and like I honestly I need to clone myself. It's hard.
Noah.
I miss
Harders.
it. I miss the
Yeah.
days. He's incredible. I would love to learn more about how he got to where he is. His work is just unreal. Unreal.
Oh wow!
Yeah, Noah Harders.
Hey Noah.
Mm.
Shout out.
Shout out Noah.
Shout out.
Shout out Noah. Man, anything else that you wanted to say, Mike? Anything you wanted to add in?
No, just I was really looking forward to this podcast, and it's going to be a good one. We're going to get a lot of downloads on this one for sure.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Flower Pistol,
Yeah.
thank you so much. Thank you so
Oh,
much. It was
so much.
really good.
Thank you guys for
listening
kicking
to
off
your
my
story.
weekend.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go
Hell
sit in
yeah.
my driveway now. I'm gonna take a beat.
Fuck.
Yeah, I gotta go
Yeah.
find
I
some
love you
devil's
guys.
lettuce.
Big hugs to
Uh.
Miami. I can't wait to see you guys again soon. I gotta come
Definitely,
down.
You
All
gotta
right.
come down
All right.
to Ecuador. with us. You got to come and see Mike's farm. You got to come.
You just tell me when. I'll go.
It's the hippie world.
Yep. I think you would really, really love it.
We're going for the show in October.
Just saying.
All right. And not no.
Big announcement in the show in October. Big announcement.
If people can get for someone to get in contact with you, how can they reach out to you? What's the best way?
Messenger pigeon.
You got to track her down. You need a tracker and a private
My phone is on Do Not Disturb 24/7. I'm sure you realize that. And my one of my it says she has to call me twice all the time, and I need to set permission to allow her. It's just email hello@flowerpistol.com. I'll get back to you in 7 to 10 business days, mostly. No, I have help on the admin side that will be able to communicate. We have a landline at my studio. There's only one person that has the landline number, and that's my number 2.
That's like the bat phone.
It is literally the only way to talk to me when I'm working, because I don't have my phone. And so when it's an emergency, that phone rings. But
email Flower Pistol.
Email.
Be patient. She'll get back to you eventually.
I will. Or Instagram.
It worked for Katy Perry.
There you go.
I know. I'm just an introvert. I shy away from a lot of I'm an introvert, but I'm also very comfortable with small groups of people like you guys. So anyway.
That works.
But yeah,
all right,
email me at hello@flowerpistol. Love you guys.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you again, Mike.
It's all 2 fat guys talking flowers. We're always going to give you the good, the bad, the ugly about flowers. Joelle, Ryan, Mimi, Mike over at Jeff Fresh North Country, our awesome, beautiful, one-of-a-kind, mad scientist guest, Flower Pistol. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.
Thank you so much.